I won here too.
He's learned from Djokovic. He's learned from Nadal.
You want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
History was made at the Australian Open. Carlos Alcaraz has done what almost everyone expected. He beat Novak Djokovic on the biggest stage in Melbourne. The young superstar didn't just win a match, he sent a message to the entire tennis world.
Simply has just walked into the conversation with the best of all time. There's only so many people on earth that can walk around and say to any Grand Slam venue and be like, oh, I won here too. The youngest to have ever done it by a couple of years, edging out Rafa. And then after Rafa, it jumps too. It's not as if there's like Rafa and then there's like three people close like within a year. How lucky is tennis that after the big three, big four, you have this guy whose game you can't take your eyes off of.
And he becomes the first man in the Open era to win each slam in his first finals appearance, joining the only other person on the planet to do it, which is one Serena Williams. All of those achievements are so easy for any sports fan to understand. And doing it before 23 years old is insane.
I'd won all of the things before Rafa, Roger, Novak, Borg. I don't know that we had to have a crystal ball to know what Novak had to do. It's kind of what we said. He came out, he was going massive. Like he was not leaving anything in the tank. I think he knew that cat and mouse with Carlos, where if we're taking pace off him deflating, it's just hard because when you give Carlos more time, you're also giving him more options. Then he has time, then he brings in drop shots, then he brings in the mix of pace, which Carlos did off the return. He had to serve and volley. He had to disrupt. He had to try to pin Carlos in that forehand corner to get to the backhand corner. I think tactically, I think Novak did what he wanted to, but it's strange because now we're in that shift where one person in this matchup has to up the risk, and it's exactly what Novak and Rafa and Roger did to the rest of us normies for all of those years. And it's like, okay, you can do it for a set, but can you do it for 4 sets? The greats always make you up your risk profile. At 38 years old, are the options more narrow in a match for Novak? Absolutely. In order to win one of these matches against the Sinners and the Alcaraz, you need to win the clutch points more often. Against Sinner was 2 of 18 on break points. That manifests in a 6-4 in the 5th win for Novak. Just a masterclass in getting through, fighting, clawing, situational tennis, timing his advances at the highest levels of the highest matches. If someone's converting break points at like even close to a 40% clip, they're most likely going to win. On this specific day, because I can see all you guys going, he's 24, how dare you call it an upset? Right now, on this specific day, that would have been an upset. And that's okay to say. I think Carlos was the favorite going into this match. On this day, he had to come out and win that first set and kind of get inside of Carlos a little bit. Listen, I know you've done it 24 times, but at least up until this match, I've done it 6 times in a pretty short amount of time. Like he's getting to that point where he is going to get settled. He hasn't really seen much. He knew that he had maybe more options, more different pathways to victory, where I think the pathway was a little bit narrower for Novak strategically. Carlos has now entered that conversation where you have to do something extraordinary for a very long time. It's tough to get on top of him. Credit to Novak, man. I'm in a rush to see him play it. You know, French Open, I think, is difficult at this point. Like, you need your body more and you need to be able to play defense. But, like, I don't know. The only thing I'm in a rush is to see him try at Wimbledon again. He knows that I'm Novak. I can maybe pull off a miracle. I have that. It lives inside of me, right? These little miracles live inside of me. That's what happened against Sinner. After the U.S. Open last year, he's like, I don't know if I can go through Sinner and Alcaraz back-to-back in 5 sets. He probably still doesn't know that. You know, the depressing part is you take out one and then you got the other one. I mean, that match against Sinner is going to be one of my favorite matches that he's played. You know, this kind of, you don't want to say underdog because that's disrespectful, but like this moment in time is going to be really appreciated. Like making the semis of every fucking slam at this age, like no hiccups, no exceptions. And I know he got a default. Stop. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. This guy's made a whole lot of luck in his career by virtue of being really, really good. Listen, Novak, Roger, Rafa, they set the example to where, you know, Carlos doesn't think impossible exists now.
Thank the Lord for Carlos Alcaraz. We'll start with that. But can I just say quickly what a class act Novak was in his speech, how gracious that was. It was really a beautiful thing to see, and he hasn't gotten sort of the love that he's wanted over the years, but he's going to get it certainly for what remains in his career. And obviously having not committed to next year, who knows? He doesn't know. We don't know, but thank you for that.
For him to beat Sinner to play as well as he did against Alcaraz, and you just got to start to wonder when you hear him talk, is the end maybe near? You know, we keep wondering if is there going to be anybody else? That question still is not answered, you know, because right now there is no one else. Djokovic was by far the second, third best player on the planet. He'll actually go back to number 3 in the rankings, which makes sense. He talked about coming into the tournament that, you know, toughness was going to be a factor, and when you look at him, you think, well, he's got so much game, he's got so much ability, but he showed that toughness, and he showed it repeatedly, and I think he's realizing, as he sort of said in his comments there, that he's learned from Djokovic, he's learned from Nadal what it takes to consistently contend for these tournaments on top of just his pure talent and ability.
Most of the preseason, I've been thinking about getting ready for this tournament. So it's really important it was really important for me to accomplish and to complete the career Grand Slam. But right now, I get it. I have 3 more to ahead. So I just don't want to trade any of the other Grand Slams.
We'll take those too. To do it against Novak, the greatest of all time, to beat him on the path to achieve it, what does that feel like to do it against that opponent?
Well, it's great because I always say that you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. I mean, beating Novak, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tennis player of all time, and one of the greatest athletes of all time. Be able to beat him, it's great. That means that you've been working really hard and you've been working really well, and that's important as well. So really happy to see myself in the position that I am right now. Not because lifting the trophy, but see myself that I'm just getting mature. See myself that I just handle every situation much better than before, and that makes me really, really proud about myself.
You start playing this sport as a kid, and you have these dreams, and at 22, you're already making history. What does that feel like to be in the record books already for such a long-standing sport and tradition?
Well, it was something that I was really, looking forward to do. To be honest, putting my name on the books, in tennis, breaking records. But one of the records or one of the things that I just really wanted to achieve in tennis is just the people can put myself in the table of the big guys. So it's a really long journey ahead of that. So everything that comes in that journey, welcome it is, and I'm just will be really grateful for that. But I just wanted to put my heart and everything that on the court for the next years.
History, but still so much more to come. By the way, next time we see you, are we going to see a kangaroo tattoo?
You will see a kangaroo tattoo.